I'm Ana Sortun, and you're at Oleana restaurant in Cambridge. I remember a very key person on our team saying, kind of scratching her head and wondering, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I said, well, we're going to do takeout, of course. And she said to me, well, what's the point? And then I thought long and hard, and I was like, really? What's the point? Like jobs, and this is what we do. This is all we do. And if we have to do takeout to get through this, the point is to keep people's jobs. And so that really was my and my business partner's motivation to keep going, because it wasn't just about doing what we love to do. Obviously, it was more about jobs and people being okay. And then there was a point where we were worried about many people who weren't able to collect unemployment, who were delayed in collecting unemployment, trying to raise money and look after them. But without jumping into takeout, it wouldn't have been possible. We would have just closed. For me, it was always really clear that we needed to try to figure it out, and that I wasn't ready to just me personally, in the situation that we were in at that time, I wasn't ready to just close for a few months. I know that a lot of people didn't have a choice, and I feel really lucky that we even could consider both. But I think above all, what was our motivating factor a year ago today, in April, was jobs. There was a moment, especially with the farm, that was just incredibly overwhelming. I can't figure out if it was the sort of people at home cooking a lot, people afraid to go to the grocery store, and loving the home delivery option, or people always wanting to join a CSA, heard about it, now is sort of the time, and hey, they deliver, or let's be healthier, let's eat more vegetables during the pandemic. Or the planet and the whole sort of the big little farm scenario where, hey, if we buy from a local farm, we are actually contributing to something that helps the planet, sort of the anti-global warming situation. If we can do that, then we've actually done way more than just recycling. We've really committed. So I think between those, I couldn't really get to the bottom of it. But what I was feeling was the biggest sense of community I've ever felt in my life. And then when the farm sort of transferred the favor to us and said, okay, here comes the winter. How can we help you? Could you do a box? Could we, help you sell it like a CSA subscription? And, so we had then came up with the community shared restaurants, right? Or it was exactly the same model, and it was being delivered. Within 24 hours, we were sold out of these shares. There has been 500 people on the waiting list since we've done them. The first couple weeks I was doing them, when we were packing them, I was literally in tears thinking, oh my God, these people have promised. They basically promised to eat our food once a week for 3 months. That's huge. And that's huge. And what if they want Chinese food? Or what if they've made this commitment, right? Or what if they've got, all these vegetables to cook from Sienna Farms? And anyhow, it was very moving, but I think we, just like that feeling of community with the farm, we sort of live and breathe that there. And that's what the farm really relies on to sustain itself. But we really felt that sense of community. Yeah, I think that hits home for everyone. And it was one of the most interesting experiences I've had, just cooking in that kitchen and seeing what Sherry does and her job day to day, and getting to know some of the women that are moving and shaking in there that make it happen every day. I loved it. It's so incredibly necessary. It was heartwarming. It was delicious. It was fun. It was funny. Everybody had a great time. It's another example of togetherness, but I honestly think it is the mission and philosophy, but it's also the amazing ladies that are there right now that are leading it and moving it and shaking it and doing what, they obviously have a great time working together, and I think it shows. People that have supported Women's Lunch Place, I mean, there's, especially during this time, I cannot imagine a more need for these women than now. Being able to go someplace where they feel safe, and they're, you know, with all the anxiety in the air and all the virus challenges on top of the challenges that they already have, to be able to have this place be so sacred and still available to them, I think is pretty. I mean, everyone who's helped is literally a form of an angel or something. It's lots of gratitude for that, for sure.